It looks a little like this is the heart of the American West.
So we have Norman, we have Amigo, we have Newt, we have Hank over the other side there. And they're all sired by the same bull.
But this ain't Texas, it's Charters Towers in North Queensland.
We're at Learton Park, which is 10 kilometres just north of Charters Towers. And it's a home of one of the biggest herds of full-blood Texas Longhorn cattle in Australia, and also the home to Texas Longhorn Tours, our tourist attraction.
Michael and Linda Bethel have been breeding Texas Longhorns for more than 20 years. It's been a consuming passion.
It started off as a love and a passion. Still is. Never thinking in our wildest dreams that we'd ever make a living out of Texas Longhorn cattle.
The couple grew up together.
We actually went to school together. So we grew up in a little country town called Georgetown. Michael lived down on a property, I lived in town, went to school together, and I suppose the rest is history.
Kind of like the old childhood sweetheart thing, you know. So, yeah, that's... Everybody knew everybody else, and I'd tell everybody that Linda was... not only was she the prettiest girl in Georgetown, she was the only girl I wasn't related to, so... Just kidding.
The Bethel story with Longhorns began in the 90s, but the breed's history spans hundreds of years.
Yeah, nothing defines the old West like, you know, cowboys, and we've said it a million times. If it wasn't the Texas Longhorns, it wouldn't be cowboys and cowgirls. Their ancestors were the first cattle ever introduced into the New World, the Americas, in 1493, and later those cattle evolved into what became known as Texas Longhorns.
The cattle roamed wild for generations, but in 1865, at the end of the American Civil War, that changed.
There was a big demand for beef and hide and tallow up in the north after the war, and there was a humongous supply of Texas Longhorn cattle, you know, running wild in the south. So the demand was met when they started driving those big herds north, and that's kind of the short history. There was literally millions and millions of cattle walked north. It was the biggest overland movement of livestock that the world's ever seen.
Fast forward to today, and Texas Longhorns have made their mark on not just American culture, but Australia's as well.
R.M. Williams proudly used the Longhorn as his trademark. Even, you know, there wasn't even any Longhorns in Australia when R.M. Williams realised the importance of something so iconic as the Texas Longhorns.
The Bethels breed the real deal, full-blooded Texas Longhorns. Artificial insemination has made this possible.
Not as many good quality Texas Longhorn cattle wouldn't be here without the AI, for sure. To be able to import different genetics each year from the US, it keeps your herd ticking over.
Linda is entrusted with the process to preserve the quality and longevity of the herd.
For it to be available to be imported into Australia, it does have to tick a lot of boxes. So we don't have a big choice to come in each year.
A lot rides on ensuring a successful insemination, which takes place at the Lovehorn Love Shack. The Bethels custom-made their cattle crush to help fit the horns.
I love the excitement. I love the breeding side of it. I love knowing that I can keep the Longhorn herd ticking over and producing calves, you know, each year, which to me, AI is certainly not a chore. It's just something I love doing.
This is how we measure their horns. So when we go through here, you might have to go around the back of that one.
When it comes to the horns, bigger is always better. And no cow reflects this sentiment more than Johnny Reb, aka JR.
That he ended up being the longest on beast in the world for about 5 years. He was a Guinness World Record holder. And it was just amazing to think that we could breed something like that here. In, you know, we're very proud and very humbling for something, you know, and to think that it all happened down, you know.
In the Love Shack.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Longhorn Love Shack. And we...
Proud moment.
Very proud. Very proud of JR.
The Bethels' hard work to preserve and improve the genetics of their Longhorns is paying off.
This is currently the longest horned cow in Australia. Her name's Millie. Yet they won't grow the big horns unless they've got the good genetics.
Some horns are just getting started.
Fastest cow in history to reach the mark of 90 inches from tip to tip. She got there before her 3rd birthday, and there's no other cow in the world that's ever done that.
The Bethels are proving not everything is bigger in Texas.
It makes you feel proud as an Australian to be able to do, you know, what Longhorn breeders have been trying for years and years, decades in the US to achieve, and we've done it here in like 25 years.
Mick takes great pride in his animals.
So if you're trying to breed like perfect Texas Longhorn steers, this is what you'd be trying to breed, something that grows a really nice set of horns, grows quickly, a nice carcass, a nice colour, and just a beautiful, quite gentle temperament. That's Jake. The old Texas twist, and you see how his horns are twisting, and they'll continue to twist till the day he dies with that twisty corkscrew shape. So that's very desirable, and when that there on a on a mount over the fireplace is just, sorry Jake, is just perfect. And you see the size of him and the length of him as well.
Sometimes they get a little close for comfort.
Migo's a bit of a serial pest too, so we come and surround the buggy. Now we're getting a bit surrounded here.
Given the horns on show, the Bethels seem to have their genetics recipe just right, and it's in demand.
It is in Australia. We get inquiries from all over Australia.
We've bred cattle here that are in Tasmania, up in the Northern Territory. You know, we've delivered cattle from here down to Melbourne, up to Darwin, and everywhere in between.
Polled genetics is most favourable in production systems nowadays. You guys are really going against the grain of that, aren't you?
That's it. You know, you got to wash your mouth out with soap when you use the polled word around here, Lucy. I can say that Linda and I, the only polled animals we have here are horses.
The 110,000 acre cattle station is also home to Asian water buffalo, Scottish Highlanders, Sardo Negro, American bison and African Watusi cattle.
But we thought, let's just make this a little bit more, add a little bit more of a point of difference to it, and add a few more of the other very rare bovine breeds in Australia, ones that we think would handle the conditions up here.
A key tourist attraction for the region, Learton Park welcomes thousands of visitors each year, a chance for Michael and Linda to share the Texas Longhorn story.
Her beautiful temperament, you know, her daughter's is just as quiet and gentle as her and all her offspring.
Only 10 minutes from Charters Towers, the Longhorn tours help bring tourists to the region. What are people's reactions when they see the Longhorns?
Oh, that's the best part. They are just blown away. Like, honestly, they just can't get over how close you can get, how spectacular they are, the colours, the size of the horns. You know, and like kids that have been here that have never seen like a calf suck its mother, or, you know, just all the stuff that we take for granted. You see a lot of special moments within their life, you know. But also a lot of the older people that visit us takes them back down memory lane. Like all the old stuff that we've got here, the equipment, but also just being out in the paddock amongst animals.
The Bethels strive for authenticity.
It's synonymous with the old West too, and there wasn't a herd of cattle that went up the Texas Trail that didn't have a chuck wagon in tow. We had that one made for us by a wagon maker out in Fort Davis, Texas, way out in West Texas. It's an authentic, exact replica of the chuck wagon that they used all those years ago. And you can see it like that.
Mick, a saddle maker by trade, also makes sure no part of his beloved Longhorns go to waste.
To us, the horns are a bonus because they're a saleable part of the animal when the animal dies.
Learton Park is no different from other cattle operations. The paddock to plate turnaround time is just a little bit longer than usual.
Texas Longhorns aren't just pretty coloured cattle with long horns. They do offer a lot when it comes to the history, but they also offer a lot when it comes to meat quality.
But at the end of the day, they all do get eaten, I suppose.
The Bethels' commitment to their unique herd is testament to decades of hard work.
I just love being able to show people what we've got here, like the years and years that we've put into breeding the Longhorns, and to be able to show that to people you know, show those spectacular cattle to them, but also for them to get up close to nature. Even if it's just going to a big paddock, you know, they don't get to do that. But being amongst the longhorns is, you know, seeing the joy on other people's faces is what I really like as well.
If you do what you love and love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And this kind of summed it up for us. It is a labour of love, and it continues to be so.